Once you notice, you can't unsee. 10 minutes to meet the real you. Inner Kriya, the quiet revolution within. Welcome to Inner Kriya. This practice is a journey of gentle, ongoing healing that reveals your inherent state as the entire self. It is about strengthening our inner foundation and exploring the deepest clarity of your mind. It's a deepening of the inner process, moving from chaos to peace and beyond. And for those who have been with us on our journey from the start, on our channels like Recover Thyself and Thrive Self and Shukrana Kriya, this is the next natural step in your self-discovery. You have been told to manage your emotions, to control your thoughts, to heal your inner child. But what if the real issue isn't your emotions, but your belief that you are them? In the next 10 minutes, you'll reconnect with a quiet practice, Inner Kriya, that helps you step out of the storm and return to the calm that's always been there. You have felt this before. That moment when you held your crying child and instead of panicking, you just knew what to do. Or when you listened to a friend's pain, not to fix it, but to be with it. And somehow that was enough. Or even in traffic, when rage rose and for one breath, you watched it instead of becoming it. That's Inner Kriya, not a technique, just your natural clarity returning. What if the storm inside isn't yours to calm, but to witness? There's a quiet path of self-inquiry as old as human curiosity, sometimes called meditation, sometimes stillness, sometimes simply paying attention. In Islam, the masjid is not just a building, it's a sacred pause, a place where the world is left at the door and the soul bows, not to ask for more, but to release what weighs it down. 5 times a day, the call isn't to perform, it's to return. And in that return, you are reminded you already have what you need. In Hinduism, the yogi closes their eyes not to escape life, but to discover Atma, the unshakable self that was never broken. In Jainism, the monk's silence isn't absence, it's presence refined, a mirror held to pure consciousness beneath karma's dust. And in Christianity, Jesus didn't point to distant heavens. He said, the kingdom of God is within you. This is the path of self-inquiry known in every wisdom tradition, lived in every quiet return. Inner Kriya is simply its name today. We'll call it Inner Kriya, not as a replacement for therapy, but as a companion to it, a way to meet yourself, not as a problem to solve, but as a presence to return to. It's not about doing more, it's about undoing the belief that you are your thoughts. In the next 10 minutes, we won't fix anything, we'll just see clearly. Let's begin, not with effort, but with presence. The echo chamber. How to notice thoughts that aren't yours. Most people spend their lives polishing echoes, never realizing the voice they are obeying isn't even theirs. Most of what you call your mind is actually echoes. Echoes of things your parents said, echoes of your teachers believed, your culture repeated. Thought says you're not enough. But who whispered that? Emotion says you're unsafe. But is that true now? Or just a memory dressed as a warning? Inner Kriya begins when you stop polishing the echo and start listening to the silence beneath it, the thought phase. Close your eyes for 3 seconds. Don't change anything. Just notice. What's the very next thought that floats by? That thought, it came from nowhere and it will return to nowhere. You're not the thinker. You are the space in which thinking happens. And that space, it's already peaceful. You just saw it. Thoughts came and go like weather. And the space that watches them, that's your true home. But what if your thoughts aren't yours? What about your emotions? Let's find out. Emotional detox. What's yours versus inherited? You're carrying grief that belongs to your grandmother, anxiety that belongs to your best friend, and fear that died decades ago. You carry emotions that were never yours to hold. Inner Kriya is emotional decluttering, not with force, but with gentle discernment. Ask yourself, does this feeling align with my soul or just my story? If it doesn't light you up, it's not yours to keep. The feeling filter. Think of an emotion you feel often, maybe worry, sadness, or frustration. Now ask softly, if I release this right now, would I feel lighter or lost? If it's lighter, it was never yours. You don't need to heal everything. You only need to stop hosting what doesn't belong. When you ask, does this feel like mine? Your body already knows the answer. Lightness is equal to release. Heaviness is equal to yours to heal. If you would like, leave a word below. I release dash dash, not to perform, but to let it go in the company of others doing the same. But even when you know what's not yours, why do you keep returning into the same old pain? The answer lies in your mind's favorite habit, the fog of familiarity. Why your mind chooses pain over peace. Your mind isn't broken. It's just addicted to the comfort of old storms. The mind is lazy, not in a bad way, but in a habitual way. It'll choose familiar pain over an unfamiliar peace every time because pain feels like home, even when it hurts. But inner Kriya is not about control, it's about clarity. Imagine your mind as a radio. For years, you have been tuned to one station, Worry FM. But there are hundreds of stations, joy, stillness, wonder. You just forgot. You hold the dial, the mental room. Visualize your mind as a room. Who's speaking in it? Is it your voice or an old recording? Now, thank that voice and gently turn that dial. Ha. Can you feel the static fade? You don't need to silence the radio. You just need to remember you hold the dial. And the beautiful part, you can return home in less than a minute. Let me show you how. The daily ritual, 60-second Inner Kriya reset. This isn't another self-care chore. It's a 60-second homecoming available anytime you forget who you are. You wash your face each morning, not because you're unclean, but because it helps you feel like yourself again. In the same way, your inner world can be gently refreshed, not to fix what's broken, but to reconnect with what's already whole. And it can take less than a minute. Here's how people return home, not as a rule, but as a possibility. Number one, witness the thought. Just notice it floating by. You might say softly inside, there's that I'm not enough story again. Feel the lightness that comes when you don't argue with it. Just let it be, like a bird passing through the sky. Number two, feel the emotion in your body without the story. Drop the narrative. This is because of X. Just sense, where is this alive in me? Maybe tightness in the chest, a warmth behind the eyes, a heaviness in the belly. Don't change it. Just let it be felt. That alone begins the release. Number three, breathe and let go. Inhale gently for 4 seconds. Pause for 2. Exhale slowly for 6 seconds. On the exhale, you might whisper out loud or inside, not mine, or simply, ha. Feel how the body softens on the out breath, like a wave returning to the ocean. You might try this once today, or 3 times, or not at all. It's not about discipline. It's about remembering you have a home right here beneath the noise. And every time you return, even for one breath, you're not fixing yourself. You're coming back to yourself. Witness, feel, breathe. That's not a technique. It's your natural rhythm returning. Tonight, ask, what emotion am I ready to return to the universe? And let it go, like a leaf on a river. Comment, Kriya, if you're choosing to return home today. Not perfectly, just gently. But what happens when you do forget, when the storm returns and you yell, react, or collapse? That moment is your greatest teacher. The moment after, what to do when you fall off your practice. The real test of awareness is in the calm. It's what you do after you lose it. Because awakening isn't a one time event, it's a practice of returning again and again. You had a moment of clarity. You saw the thought wasn't you. You felt the emotion pass through. And then your boss sent a harsh email and you were back in the storm. That's not failure. That's humility. Inner Kriya isn't about staying awake forever. It's about how gently you return when you notice you have drifted. The real practice isn't the 60-second reset. It's the half-second pause when you yell, when you whisper, I forgot. That's not weakness. That's the seed of true awareness. So if you lose it today, don't call it a setback, call it an invitation to begin again. And this time, you won't start from zero. You'll start from remembering. Next time you react strongly, wait 10 seconds. Then ask, what was I believing in that moment? Just notice. No fixing. That question alone is inner Kriya in motion. That whisper, I forgot, isn't a failure. It's the first breath of true freedom. Inner Kriya is not about becoming better. It's about becoming clearer. You may have felt broken, but beneath the fracture, wholeness was always there. And now you are waking up. So the next time a thought says you're failing, smile and say, thank you for sharing, but I'm watching now. Because now you know what to look for. Not the word, but the awareness in which it all appears. That's inner Kriya. And it's always been yours. And if you feel moved, type one word below that no longer belongs to you. We'll hold space for it together. That's your inner Kriya of today. If this felt like a homecoming and you would like a gentle companion for this path, I have created a free inner Kriya ritual map. It's just a simple PDF with practices we explored. Link is in the description. Take it if it calls. Leave it if it doesn't.